Hello, everyone. My name is Al Wehrmann. I am chair of the 2022 Best in Show competition, and I'm recording this from my home today. We made a decision several weeks ago not to have a public critique because of ongoing COVID concerns and some space limitations over at the mall. One of these days, we'll get back to it. We do have some additional video that I'll talk about later. That will, I think you'll be happy to see. It's something we've not done before, but it's something that I think you'll like to see because we actually see the judges in action. And rather than getting a public critique after the show is over, you're going to see them as they make some decisions live. Before we get into all that, I'm going to start sharing my screen and then we'll go through a few slides. That way you don't have to look at my face the whole time here. So let me jump over to my slides, my screen. And just want to quickly start talking about our sponsors. I can get there we go. First of all, our club meets on the first and fourth Mondays from September through May. We certainly would like to see you there. And if you have some interest, you can check out our website and our calendar on the website at champaigncameraclub.org. I'm going to refer to that website a lot this evening because we have a lot of things on there for you to see relative to Best in Show. Before I go any farther, I want to make sure I thank our sponsors this year. These folks have basically been with us since the beginning. This is our 21st year. All of these sponsors have been with us for all those years, except Prairie Gardens, who joined us about 4 years ago. But we're happy to have them all, and without them, we couldn't make this thing happen. I want to start with Lincoln Square because of the space that they provide at no charge. That's a great venue for us to show off the photos. If we had to pay for a place, it wouldn't happen at all. Two of the stores in the mall, International Galleries and Art Co-op or Art Coop, provide us gift certificates as well as Prairie Gardens. Illini Studio, John Desson at Illini Studio, and Larry Camphor at Camphor Gallery contribute cash. That helps tremendously because that cash comes back to you in the way of awards. Trophy Time prepares all the ribbons, and that adds a lot. I think really it provides a memento of your participation, and especially the first place ribbons are really something to strive for, I think. Last but not least is the Urbana Park District. Is somebody that's cooperated with us, and Janet Sosby there and her crew. Another thing, we just could not do it without them. Somebody that's not really a sponsor, but has been a big help to us also is the News Gazette. I want to thank Jim Rosso and Mike Goebel and their staff for publishing the winning photos in the paper, and I think they also had a little segment on it in the paper the couple days previous. Just to touch on what the awards are this year, first place is $75, second place $50, third place $25, and if you were an honorable mention, you're going to get a gift certificate. As always, if you were to win multiple places, you're only going to get the prize for the highest place. That way, if you were to take a first place and second place, you're going to get the first place award and not the $50 for the second place. That's just an equitable way of doing it, we find. And we have in the past and this year too, do have multiple winners that get multiple places. And it's just a fact of how things go. The judges do not know who the photographers are when they're making the judgments, their decisions. And so it's not until after after they have selected the winning photos that we determine who the photographers are. So there's no bias involved there. While we're talking about judges this year, we have two old hands, if we want to call that. Craig and Brian have done a lot of judging for the Camera Club over the years, and both have done judging for Best in Show before. Craig was on the faculty at the U of I, and then more lately at Parkman College before he retired. And he's also done some OLLI classes on history of photography. Brian is an associate professor at the U of I and has taught photojournalism for us since 1998, I believe. All our bios are on our webpage. And last but not least, again, is Freya Repplinger. She's a new judge for us in Best in Show. She's done some judging for us at the club, but she is a past participant in Best in Show and has taken her work above and beyond. So she's now selling some of her stuff. She has work displayed around town, and we are really proud to have her now as a judge. That shows how you can take that next step in your photographic work. I want to remind you again, Champaign Camera Club is the website.org is the website, and we're going to be you're going to find a lot more information there about the contest, including a video that we posted. Actually, I think we posted it last year. It was a Zoom workshop that went into some of the details of the judging process, and also had some tips in there for improving your work, making a little bit better for presentation in the contest. And I hope that maybe many of you have seen this already, and if you haven't, I encourage you to go look at it to see, just to get some tips on how we run the contest. And along those lines, I want to mention that for any category of, well, actually, let me step back. Each print goes through a light box, as is explained in this video. And that subjects each print to the same lighting process. So there's no bias there by how the photo was looked at. Now, the judges score each photo as it goes through light box from a score of 1 to 5. So the high score would then be a 5. And if all the judges gave it a 5, the picture would get a score of 15. That number would be written on the back of the photo. And you will find that number on the back of all your photos. We take the top 30% of the photos that are entered in any category after they've gone through the scoring process, and we lay those photos out on the table where the judges can look at them as a group, and then they can start to discuss who they want to get first, second, third place, and honorable mentions. And it is that process, once they've started making that discussion at this back table, that we we've recorded on video. And we've got a separate video for each of the categories that will be on our website on this page under the 2022 Best in Show tab on our page. I think this is something that the public hardly ever, if ever, gets to see, is this process, this judging process as it goes on. We in the Camera Club see it when we hold our own contests because the judges are there and we're sitting around them when they do the judging. And I've seen it many times as chair for Best in Show, but the public has never really get to see this. And the judges were happy to allow this to happen. And I hope we can allow this to happen in all future Best in Shows as well, because I think it's very instructive. If you listen carefully, you get to understand what they're looking for in the photos and some of the do's and the don'ts as they go through them. That, because we have these videos and there's going to be one for each category, I'm not going to spend any time critiquing photos in my video now. And once we get those posted, I encourage you to go look at them. They are, I know as they were judging the photos that I entered, I was listening intently to what they said. And that brings to mind, I want to make sure that you understand that the club now has its own category. We do not compete against the public for prizes. We get ribbons, but no cash. And in fact, the cash that we paid and are like the public goes back to you as a public participant. So we're not only hosting this, but we're also helping pay for your prizes, frankly. So please know that we're just trying to show you what we do. And I think, I hope you will also understand that none of us are really professional photographers. And so if you are interested in joining us, you're not joining, a bunch of people that are so above you or anything like that. We're just photographers with an interest in taking photos like you. So let's just jump to the winners. And then we'll conclude this video. So we'll start out in the animals category. First place in animals by Barb Horsch was Prairie Dog. Great photo. This got a lot of comments, and frankly was probably one of the favorites overall over all of the photos in the contest. Second place by Jason Kendun, Dance. A great timing on this image of the flamingo as he danced across the water. Third place, What Are You Looking At by Lisa Stewart. Great shot of a crow in the Grand Canyon. The judges had a lot of discussion about this one too, because it almost looks like it was shot in a museum, but it was just so well done that it could almost been entered in a landscape photo as well. Honorable mentions, we got several honorable mentions in the animal category. Winter Horses by Tammy Cole. I See You by Bob Darmody. Grays in the Haze by Nancy Elliott. Turkey Vulture King, again by Nancy Elliott. And The Chase by Kelsey Martin. This one generated a lot of discussion too, because of the timing to get two butterflies in one photo like this is just highly unusual. And that brings to mind the fact that sometimes it's the photos that do well aren't necessarily the best technically, but they have something that captures the moment, the immediacy. There's something that may be emotional about the photo, and it's something that goes beyond just knowing how to operate your camera. And then also by Sajaki Matsela, Fly on a Rose. Nice macro type photograph here. Hard to get them while they're sitting still. Okay, architecture. First place, All in All by Tim Borbley. This one generated some discussion because it's just such an unusual look. Again, we're talking about the unconventional kind of photograph. And those often do well because it's a different point of view. Same way with this one, Todd Keller's Exit Through the Left. And just the shot of a grocery store and the shopping carts and the brick wall, but it's that geometric pattern and the bricks, the detail that generated some talk among the judges. And then third place by Chris Caros, Over the Bridge Downtown. And here you see scene, truly an architectural scene. And then honorable mentions, Single Pane by Sherry Fletcher. The Bridge to Oz by Bonnie Hudson. Okay, moving to black and white. Winner was Frozen Bubble by Tammy Cole. Great shot, very hard to do, nice and crisp. Mustang by Robert Beddoes. Great shot. Rob is a pilot. I don't know if he was flying when he took this shot or if he was just a passenger, but a wonderful photograph. Only You by Leah Rademacher. Nice photo. And it's good to notice the cat or the kitten under her shoulder. That was missed originally. Certainly when I was looking at it, I did not see it right away. So you have to look at some of these photos for a while to understand what's going on. And then honorable mentions, Todd Keller, Massey. Good black and white shot there. By the Grass by Tricia Scott. And then general, we'll go to the general category. First place, Gone by Emily Condell. But there's a lot going on in this photo, and you have to take a while to look at it to see all the things. You got the chairs, there's people in the background, there's another building back there. This one, it's one of those photographs where it makes you wonder what's going on, what happened. There's a story somehow in all this. Second place by Lindsay Groth, Church. Nice lines there. And then Tricia Scott again with a photo heading home. Down, I assume down Arthur Way. Nice shot, and that is the moon with the stars out. Interesting photo. And then honorable mentions, Up Into the Blue, another photo by Robert Beddoes. Frozen Tracks by Chris Eller. Colorful Chaos by Michelle Yeager. Ghost Town by Felipe Menantu. Landscape, winner in Landscape, Country Road by Barb Horsch. And you remember Barb also had the picture of the dog and the one in the animal category. We talked about this photo too, because it would have been a different photo without the bicycle. And the bicycle kind of adds to that storyline that you want to know more about, or draws you into the picture. Abstract Branches by Carissa Marshall. A lot of talk about this one too. And a good job. Not only do you see this color separation across from top to bottom, but a nice job of keeping the tree trunks separated so they're not merging. Then Todd Keller, third place, Driving with the Sound Off. And this photo generated a lot of discussion because it takes you a while to figure out what the heck it is. And then what was going on there. And again, it generates those questions, and there's a story that it pulls you in while thinking about what's going on there. Honorable mention by Walter Allspaw, Daylight Fades, but the Harvest Continues. Something we, living around here, you see quite often in the fall. Strike at Sunset by Carissa Marshall. Nice shot, getting the lightning in there. Windmill at Sunset, another by Carissa. Shellscape by Leslie Myrick. The Coming of Winter by Milt Nicholas. Two Dogs at Night, place many of us know well, out at Allerton Park by Judy Yost. Then in the nature category, first place, Serenity by Carissa Marshall again. Nice use of negative space in this photo. Bright New Beginning by Doug Mills. Love the detail in those wings. Missing in Flight by Mike Holtz. Bee and Sunflower by James Borbely. He Grabs a Bite by Nancy Elliott. One in a Billion, Brood X by Nancy Elliott. Cicada Glow by Barb Horsch. Lots of cicadas this year. I wonder why. Tender by Jason Kendu. Fly on Green Flower by Jackie Massella. Another great use of the macro. And Tricia Scott with The Imperfect Pumpkin. Now to people. The Solar System by Lindsay Groth. Hard to Say Goodbye by Tricia Scott. And Mirage by Philippe Menanto. Honorable mentions, Silver by Lindsay Groth. Ironworks by Todd Keller. In the youth category, and I was happy to see that a lot of young people entered this year as well. Ka-Chow by Nathaniel Menanto. It's a great shot. Gabe by Liliana Berner. Aftermath, another photo by Nathaniel. Heaven's Gate by Olivia Cobbler. Around Polaris by Nathaniel again. Firework by DJ Wang. A Majestic Bloom by JJ Wang, his brother. And then finally are some photos by our club. And this one happens to be mine, Busy Bee. Took this out at Allerton Park. Kim Ormsby with Sunset at Foothills Parkway. The Goldfinch and the Bee by myself. Autumn Dawn at Lake Charleston by Mary Cattell. Curious Tufted Titmouse, another one by myself. Shot in my backyard. Sunset Ross, Maxwell Drive by Jim McInerney. Japan House Red Wing by myself again. So that concludes all the award winners and honorable mention winners. I want to re-say that we're going to have all these videos of the judges in action on our website. They will be posted soon if they're not already. And I definitely want you to go look at those as soon as you can. We go back to here now, and we enjoyed having the participation again this year. There was almost 300 photos, 287 photos. So we even did a little bit better, I think, this year than we did last year. And I hope to see all of you and more next year. This is our big event for the year as a camera club, and it takes the coordination of a lot of people. I very much appreciate the Urbana Park District's help in this. I also really want to thank several of our club members. Jim McInerney and Jim Long took photos of all the winning photos so they could go in the newspaper, as well as the slides you saw in this video. And then all of those photos will also be posted on our webpage. So I think there were 67 photos that they had to take and then process, and then get them ready for us to use later. So that was a lot of work. It took a lot of time. Thank you again to our sponsors. I think if you go frequent those stores at all, tell them you were a participant in the Best in Show and thank them, because it really means a lot to them to be able to do this and support us, support the contest, support photography every year. It's a great thing. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Again, make sure you visit champaigncameraclub.org and you'll see the judges in action. I think you'll get a lot out of that. Thank you. See you next year. I think the deadline for photos next year will be January 25th. So you've got time. Get out there and shoot. I hope to see you. And I hope to see you when you come to pick up your photos. Thank you. Bye.